Hello, live with Archie Luxury. Now, we've got a very exciting new series here. F169bbs.com, Archie Luxury on Geopolitics. And here's a peace offering. This is how we solve problems. We start shipping out bottles of Dimple, 15-year-old whiskey. Very, very cool fan sent me this. And I had a little bit of a drink last night. And I'm going to have a sip tonight, sip now, because we've got some difficult lizard tongue across the bottle there, lizard tongue. And now, Clyde, you're the brains trust here. You're the one who actually went to college, and you're a professional. You're a lawyer. Cheers! Cheers!
Cheers.
You also have a very big interest in history. I loved history too. I did modern and ancient. Today's topic is how to solve famine and poverty in Africa.
Okay.
Now, the biggest problem with poverty in Africa, I think, is the Africans. They, unfortunately, seem to be one of the most corrupt. There's a lot of corruption in these countries. Zimbabwe, South Africa. It's a disaster. It's a basket case. And I'm not saying colonial rule is right, but I got to be honest with you. A lot of these countries have fallen when they've had independence. And countries like Zimbabwe, Rhodesia, used to be called Rhodesia. It was the breadbasket of Africa. It used to feed Africa. And after it got independence, after I think it was Smith was the last white leader, we had a brutal dictator, Robert Mugabe, Sir Robert Mugabe. He got a knighthood as well. It's just been an absolute disaster into poverty. And I'd like to hear Clyde, the Brains Trust. Well, how do we solve famine and poverty in Africa, Clyde? How do we do it? You're a Democrat. You tell me what we do. You're a Democrat. How do we do it?
Solve the population problem, first of all.
Solve the population problem. There's too many, you're saying.
Yeah, actually, when there's more people than resources, there's going to be problems with poverty.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, make contraceptives cheap and available.
Oh, I see. I see. There's a huge AIDS problem in Africa as well.
Which would be solving, two birds with one stone.
It's depending on the contraceptive of choice.
Correct.
You remember that song in the 80s, Band-Aid? You remember Band-Aid? You remember that?
Feed the world. Don't they know it's Christmas time?
Feed the world. What went
do you
wrong?
know else? But do you know else who had a solution for starvation in Africa?
Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just hang on one tick.
So what do you guys? I don't know if I'm still on. Can you guys hear me? Fist if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me at all? Hello?
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to take a toilet break. As you were saying,
take a toilet break. What, you piss against the outside of the house or what?
I just had to quickly had someone knock at the door. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Contraceptives, education, of course. What else? Actually, one of the anti-corruption measures, I think, should come in too. What do you think? Yeah. The trouble is, I think that's going to be a lot more than what we can do in a 10-minute program.
Should we, as the rich first world countries, be giving money to Africa?
Oh, you're talking about Band-Aid. There was another solution for African starvation that also came out in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Sam Kinison?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no. My God. Louder than hell. Actually, it was a great routine. He said, you know, we were driving here 1,000 miles. We're driving here 1,000 miles with all your food, and it occurred to us that there wouldn't be world hunger if you fuckers would live where the food is.
I see.
Pack all your shit. Get your kids. Get your luggage. Jump in the back. We'll take you where the fucking food is. We have America. We have deserts in America. We just don't live in them, you assholes.
I see. Now, okay, getting back to Band-Aid, right?
Right.
Did you donate money?
I was in junior high, maybe. So, no. When I didn't have a job, it's kind of hard to donate money in junior high when you don't have a job. Band-Aid
is a charity supergroup featuring mainly British and Irish musicians and recording artists. It was founded in 1984 by Bob Geldof and Midge
from the Boomtown Rats.
Yeah, to raise money for anti-famine efforts in Ethiopia by releasing songs "Do They Know It's Christmas" for the Christmas market.
So how'd they do?
They had Feed the World. They had so many things. Bono was there.
Right.
Phil Collins.
Cyndi Lauper.
It was a huge.
Michael Jackson.
Huge. Unfortunately, it didn't seem to solve the problem.
No.
Okay.
Moreover, Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation, is trying to do all sorts of work over there, and I think the problem still consist, despite the efforts of the world's richest man, or one of the world's richest men. Dip Clyde in honey and give them to the lesbians? I don't know what the hell that means, but I think that's going to it's going to be, the continent didn't get in that state overnight. It's not going to get out of it overnight, but contraception and education would probably be the best way to start.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about there. Did Live Aid, that was Live Aid. It was called Live Aid. Did it do more harm than good?
Well, the video wasn't bad.
I'll tell you what happened with Live Aid. You know what happened with Live Aid? You know what happened? You know what happened?
Tell me what happened.
I will tell you what happened there. Sorry, Bob. Band-Aid millions did pay for guns. Charities man in Ethiopia tells his disturbing story. Bob Geldof, this is from the Daily Mail. Bob Geldof is furious with the BBC for reporting that his charity unwittingly funded weapons for warlords. So what's the truth? And the truth is it was a disaster. I tend to think it was a disaster. I mean, Bob Geldof got a knighthood out of it. That's always a good thing to have, isn't it?
Right.
Money poured in. The 16-hour rock concert on July 13, 1985, raised $65 million. It had an audience estimated at 1.5 billion. It was a moment of hope. And unfortunately, it was a complete disaster. It was a disaster. You know that, don't you, Clyde? Come on, work with me, not against me.
Well, I don't think that did anything to help the problems in Africa long-term or even short-term. That's correct.
Former rebel leaders told World Service's respected African editor Martin Plate that they posed as merchants in meetings with charity workers to get aid money. This is rebel leaders. Just a disaster. This is what happens when. This is what happens. It's an absolute balls up. You know that? Absolute balls up. I don't know why they just didn't go into the local KFC, Hungry Jack's, and Burger King.
Is that a racist comment? Why KFC? Because it's Africa? Are you implying something there?
KFC, chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know why they didn't go to the local KFCs and said, okay, we're going to run a meter. Anyone who's a bit short will help you out a bit, you know? 2 for 1, give an extra piece of chicken. Well, I can't see why they couldn't have had food drops. You know, instead it was all wasted. Well, the food drops, this is what happened. The food drops were seized by rebels. The men with the machine guns seized it.
Okay, but even if they had food drops, even if they had like Amazon miniature drones custom delivering to every, I was going to say grass hut, but you know, every humble abode in Africa, that's going to solve the problem of the next meal. It's not going to help any of the conditions that led to the starvation in the first place.
Well, the problem is the fighting. There's a lot of tribal fighting in Africa. You know that?
Yeah, because too many people and scarce resources.
No, it's because they're fighting. It's power struggles. It's power struggles. It's nothing to do with the reason they're starving. It's because they're spending time fighting their brothers instead of tending the crops.
Well, with climate change, there may not be crops to grow anyway in the next 20 years. After 20 years, so I guess that problem will take care of itself.
Climate change doesn't exist. You go and ask Trump about that.
Sure.
It doesn't exist, does it? There is no climate change. We don't need to do anything. Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me.
It's getting hotter every goddamn year in this state.
It's pretty cold in Brisbane at the moment.
Yeah. Let me put this, well.
Clyde, work with me, not against me. I'm trying to solve world problems here. What do you see? How would you solve? So you're saying contraception?
Education. And you're saying they should open more KFCs.
I'm saying.
Now, if they open more KFCs, more people would be able to stand in line and get KFC. So therefore, that would solve hunger. Okay.
What about, I'm talking about Live Aid. Was Live Aid, you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember Live Aid or not?
Oh, God, yeah. Don't they know it's Christmas time? That MTV, back when MTV actually showed music. Jesus,
yes, that's exactly right. Live Aid.
They showed that 1,000,000 times.
Live Aid. It was... Dire Straits was at Live Aid too. Did you know that?
Yep. Money for nothing and the fists for free.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. Live Aid. It was amazing, wasn't it? Live Aid. You know, that was right. The world was trying to help. You know what I mean?
Well, to a certain degree, though, every democracy goes through growing pains. Even the United States was by no means secure or certain after the revolution. We struggled and fucked around for at least, 20 years under the Articles of Confederation.
I see.
And switching from one government to the other, from one form of government to the other with little or no preparation, no time to think about it. Russia, same thing. You can't just, it's not like a computer setting where you can change your desktop backdrop from one format to another. It's just going to suck.
Yes, I understand.
And maybe democracy is by no means assured in Africa. Well, maybe another possibility is ISIS will take over the whole damn continent. That might be a possibility.
That's not a good thing, Clyde.
No, but it would at least bring some sort of uniform government, possibly to the entire continent. It would cut down on tribal disputes, rivalries, if they're unified under one government.
Yes. Yes. I actually made a video some time back. Bob Geldof, I want my money back.
Do you think you can send the IWC to Africa?
No, we're giving that to Kim Jong-un.
Okay. Maybe you could show the Africans how to source rose gold reversos for $3,500. I mean, if they were all in the same time, that would help, would it?
I know what you're saying.
I mean, that is such a big problem.
Africa, how do we solve the problems with food? How do we solve starvation? How do we solve famine and poverty in Africa? The answer is we don't. Impossible.
No.
Cannot be done. It cannot be done. Okay.
It can't be done by one group forcing its will on another one.
I think it's just too hard. Let them starve, I'm afraid.
I'm not going to say that.
We're going to be more politically correct and say let their own resources solve their own problems.
Yes, we will say that. Yes, absolutely.
Because we won't actually be brutal and nasty. See, that's politically incorrect to say that, but we'll say we'll let the market forces sort it out.
Exactly. Well, that's not even liberal. Which
means, you know, if we look at the American doctrine, unless there's oil there, why are we even talking about this? Because America only gets involved in conflicts where there's oil. You know this? I'll give you a classic example. What happened to Yugoslavia? Why didn't America get involved? You know why?
You're saying because there's no oil.
Nothing there for them to take.
Well, let's see. How many oil wells were there in Vietnam?
Ooh, you're good. You're good for a pro bono lawyer. You're fast. I tell you that now. You're fast.
I'm normally a little faster than that. But
that's what you know who got us into Vietnam War? It was Johnson. You know that?
Technically Kennedy, I think.
Because Johnson lied to him.
I don't know. It's probably the American military advisors that lied to Kennedy. The Joint Chiefs of Staff and JFK weren't exactly in the best of terms anyway. No, Johnson did not fucking kill Kennedy. Sorry, we're in the comments.
Yeah. Clyde, Kennedy was one of the greatest American presidents of all time.
I don't know about that. Had he survived, I think he would have been taken down by his own personal problems.
Why do you say that? Didn't seem to stop Bill Clinton.
Oh, it almost did. We had this thing called an impeachment trial. It almost damn near did stop.
Mind you, he did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Well, he was pointing. And if you follow the widescreen of the press conference, he was actually pointing to the fat old chick in the back. See, people, yeah.
Now, Clyde, how do we solve famine and poverty in Africa? You're saying condoms?
Yeah, birth control, contraceptives, and education is about the only other way. Otherwise, I mean,
they're starving. They're hungry. These Africans are hungry. What are we going to do?
Send them KFC.
Give them rubbers to eat? Edible rubbers? They're hungry.
That would be edible panties, actually. And that wouldn't do a damn thing.
Have you ever tried those edible panties, if you don't mind?
No, I never have. Never have. Yeah, send more KFC. I mean, if we send food, all we're going to do is just perpetuate their existing political and economic structures that are already in place. All we're doing is just to help to continue the misery. You know, if you give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, blah, 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 blah.
Yes. So what's your solution then?
I don't know. There is one. Except maybe ISIS taking over the whole damn goddamn place.
Solve famine and poverty in Africa. This is what I've been asked to do. I've been paid a small amount of money from F, and I've been sponsored by F169bbs.com. I've been told to how to solve famine and poverty quickly in 30 seconds. Tell me what you do. Come on, quick to the point, Clyde.
Wait for ISIS to take the whole damn place over.
But they're not.
Under new management.
Okay, Clyde. I'm a bit worried about that, okay?
You should be. Urine power is good. Sharia law is great.
Okay, Clyde, we're going to wrap this show up. Okay, it was great talking to you. Do you want to do another show?
Sure. Suck the horn coming on? Come on, Jono. Come on, Jono.
Now, what's the topic? You give me a topic. I'll do the heading up. What's the topic you'd like to talk about? Anything you want, Clyde.
I honestly can't really think of anything offhand. I'm like I said, it's just been a good week. I'm just enjoying there's a couple of things I was really, really worried about, and it turned out to be, you know, false events appearing real.
Okay, I'm going to make a topic. How's this? I've been drinking these scotches like no tomorrow. How about reasons I love America? Would you
Sure.
like to? Is it okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can get
what is great about America? We can discuss that, okay?
All right.
Okay, let's do that, okay? Okay, come back soon. Come back soon.